Welcome to RunnerTrack's CSUB's Organizational Training and Leadership Series. This module is all about RunnerSync events and waivers. We will go over how to create and edit events and show you how to attach liability waivers to those events. Some events need to be created in RunnerSync and some don't. How do you know the difference? If the event will be held off campus, clubs do need to put it into RunnerSync. These events will require approval from the club's president and advisor and a campus administrator. If the event is an on-campus event, clubs do not need to put it into RunnerSync. Put it into 25 Live to request the space. Once the event reaches tentative status, 25 Live will send it to RunnerSync automatically. It does not have to go through an additional approval process. Once in RunnerSync, clubs can add details to the event like photos that aren't required as part of the 25 Live event request. The only time a club would enter an on-campus event into RunnerSync and not 25 Live is if someone else already has requested the space and the club only wants to use the space to check in students with Checkpoint. For example, at Club Fair, the Office of Student Involvement will reserve the space, but clubs should still add the event into RunnerSync so they can track students that come by their table. Do not request the event in 25 Live. Let's start at the admin dashboard. Hover your cursor over the icons to the left and open the sidebar. Then click Events. On the Events page, you will only see events for organizations for which you are an admin. To the right, you will see the PIN numbers required to check in students using the Checkpoint app. The time window is set automatically for 30 days before and after today's date. Don't make the mistake of thinking the first event on the list will be the next event to occur. You can click the Date Time Filter option and change the date to the current date to see all future events. The Filter button allows you to decide which information you'd like to be able to use to filter the responses. Any changes you make, including remove all, will be reset if you back out of or refresh the page. Under the Requests tab, you'll see all of the events that have been entered into RunnerSync but have not completed the approval process. This event has been approved by the club president and is waiting on approval from its advisor. You can click the envelope button to send a reminder email. Once the event has both approvals, the Office of Student Involvement will review and approve the request. Events can be tagged so students can search for them by the tags. You can see the tags you have to choose from here. If you want a tag that is not represented, email getinvolved@csub.edu with your request. Some events require students to sign a waiver of liability. This can be done by attaching a waiver to the event. The Checkpoint app will require the student to digitally sign the waiver before they can be checked into the event. There are two official university waivers to choose from, the standard liability waiver and the same waiver with the photo release waiver attached. Paper waivers will still be required for non-student attendees and out-of-town club travel. Under Polls, you will be able to see all of the polls you have available to you. To add a poll to an event, go into the poll and select the event, not the other way around. Let's go through the steps of creating an off-campus event. Go back to the admin dashboard, hover your cursor over the icons to the left, and click Create. The Create window will open, allowing you to go directly to the Create an Event page. On the event creation screen, you won't see a Submit for Approval button in the upper right until a change is made in any of the fields. Name the event something that makes it unique, or it will be lost in a list of 1,000 other events. It is always helpful to include the name of the organization in the event name, even though you have to select the organization directly below that. Since you are part of a student organization, choose the second option here. This initiates the President Advisor approval process. In the text field, enter any important details about your event. Scroll down to Time and Location and enter the appropriate start and end dates and times. Enter the location, including an address if one is necessary. Enter the name and email of an event contact. It should be someone who is both an officer in the club and will be at the event. Under Tags, you can select one or more search tags for the event. For the cover image, you can upload your own image like a logo or photo, or search for a generic image through the RunnerSync database. As you can see, when searching for bowling images, Some photos of bowls were returned. The search option isn't perfect, and you may have to experiment to find an image that meets the club's needs. The budget and goals area is just for notes. It doesn't affect your on-campus account. Here's where we're going to talk about waivers. A waiver is a form that a student signs to release the university from liability regarding accidents, injuries, or damage at an event. Students and sometimes non-student attendees must sign waivers before being allowed to participate in certain events that are higher risk than others. There are two waivers currently available to choose from. One is the university's standard release of liability waiver. The other is the same waiver plus an image release form. Students need to read the waiver before signing it, but if they do that from the device, it could take hours to check everyone in. Do not suggest to the student that they sign the waiver without reading it first. Campus programming has 2-foot by 3-foot foam boards with the waivers printed on them that you can display near the entrance. Attendees can read the waiver language before they get to the checkpoint. Sometimes non-students, faculty, or staff are allowed at your event. Since they aren't in RunnerSync, they will still be required to sign paper waivers. Paper waivers in triplicate are required for clubs that do out-of-town travel. In the Notes section, add anything relevant. You can write instructions, link to a map, or embed a video of a previous event. This information is for your club administrators only, not for the public. The Opportunities options are a work in progress, so skip those for now. At the bottom, there are two check boxes. Check Hidden from Non-Members if the event is something only your club needs to know about, like an officer meeting. Check Members Only Check-In if you are only concerned with tracking or admitting members and not non-member students. This will be unchecked for most events. Here are a few last thoughts about RunnerSync events and waivers. Give yourself plenty of time to get all the necessary approvals as early as possible before the date of your event. Don't put regular on-campus events into 25 Live and RunnerSync. 25 Live events will come over on their own. Checkpoint gives you valuable data and gives students a means of tracking their campus involvement, so use it for every event. There's a separate training video for Checkpoint. Don't create the impression that you are encouraging attendees to sign waivers without reading them. Give them a way to read it before they check in. Community attendees will still have to sign paper waivers. Your event may not need waivers if it's a low-risk event or if you purchased insurance. Ask the Office of Student Involvement if your event requires a waiver. Thank you for watching our RunnerTracks Officer Training and Leadership video for RunnerSync events and waivers. Please return to the RunnerTracks training forum, answer a few questions about this video, and submit the form. If you have questions or want more information, email us at getinvolved@csub.edu, and please watch our other RunnerTracks videos.